In this video, let us set up our AI's animations, because right now they're just in T-pose. We have all the logic ready, so a lot of the code is already there. We just need to get their animations and set it up. To keep it simple, I'm not even going to use an animation blueprint because our AI can't really do much. They just like walk. Unlike our player who can strafe left, right, and back, our AI is just going to face the player and run towards them, so they're only ever going to run forward. And even when they do their little AI walk to locations, they're going to face in that direction and walk there. So we don't really need to, deal with like the larger logic of like blending animations for them. We can just set their animations directly. So it should be a little simpler. To start, let's go back to Mixamo. And I need a couple of animations. Really, I just want 3. I'm going to download this idle animation. Any idle animation work. I want a walk animation, where I believe I downloaded one of these walks. It really doesn't matter, but pick a walk animation and download it. And we want a running animation. So again, doesn't matter which one you pick, just pick something and we can download it. And make sure, again, when we download it, in place is checked. We want an idle, a walk, and a run. Once we have our animations ready, we just need to bring them into the engine. And so I'm going to go into the enemies folder we made. I'm going to make a new folder, call it animations, and just go over and drag our animations in here. Oops, in here. Make sure that the skeleton is set to the right skeleton, not Remy this time, but this CH45. And import our new animations. So we have 3 animations in here. We have fast run, idle, and walking. Now, in my BP enemy back in the viewport, let us just center in on our mesh. For the character, we used a animation blueprint. We used this, our animation mode was use animation blueprint. That's not actually necessary for this guy because we don't need to set up an animation blueprint. We can keep it much simpler. Instead, we are just going to use an animation asset. And when they start off, let them start off in idle. So the animation asset's just going to play this animation. So you can see now they're just playing the idle animation. And in our event graph, we just need to change the animation based on what we're doing. So when we're moving to a random location, I want to change the animation. So we just write play animation. And so when we're moving to a random location, I want them to play walking. So I search walking. Make sure looping is turned on. When our character is on success, and once they reach that, while they're waiting this 1 second, in fact, let's take this 1 second to 2 seconds. While they're waiting, we want to change that animation to idle. And same thing, make sure it's looping. And finally, when our player sees us, we want them to play the running animation. But in fact, I don't want them to, because this, if we remember, this function is just going to keep running over and over again. If I just play the animation, it's going to keep restarting it because this function is going to run every frame. So instead, I'm going to use a sequence node here. All the sequence node is going to do is first do the top part and then the bottom. It's just going to run them separately, but this first, then this. If we add more pins, it'll run this next, just as it says, then 0, then 1. But we only need 2. And for the top one, this is where I'm going to play the animation. I'm just going to do a do once. When what we want to do here is play the running animation. So when this AI pawn sensing runs, it's just going to do this running animation once. However, our do once node, it'll only literally run once. So once they sense us the first time and they go back to patrolling, when they sense us again, it is not going to run through this do once. We need to actually reset this. So to do that, I'm going to make a custom function or a custom event, called it reset run. And that's just going to reset the run. And basically, at the end of this chain, after this retriggerable delay is done, if they are going to go patrol, we will call reset run as well, so that the next time they sense us, this is reset and they can play their running animation again. The last thing that I want to do is, right now our character or our enemy is moving at a max walk speed of 300. That's their default speed. When we play this running animation, let's increase the speed. Let's get them to run faster. So let's set max walk speed. In this case, I don't want my enemies to run as fast as my players. I want them to run slightly slower. So let's make it 500. Again, all of this is stuff that, you guys have to tweak depending on trying the game and actually getting it to work. And in this retriggerable delay thing, just before we call move to random location, again, let us do the same thing. Let's set our character's max walk speed back to their actual walking speed of 300. Make sure all of the animations have looping checked on it. And really, that should be it. That should, now we're just using these animations directly. Our character starts with idle. When we walk to a random location, we set the animation to play walking. And then once that walk is finished, we go back to idle. We delay. We call move to random location again. That'll set them back to walking. And then idle, just keep going back and forth. When they see us, if it is us, they will, one time only while they're looking at us, start running. We're going to change their walk speed. They're going to play the fast run animation. And then at some point, when this retriggerable delay stops retriggering and it runs out, we're going to reset run. So we're going to reset this do once, so the next time they see us, they can play fast run, the animation. And we are also going to set our character's movement speed to the walking speed, and we're just going to start them patrolling again. All right, we have set basically all the animations up. Let's go see if this works. Oh, you can see they saw us and they started running. Let's break line of sight, and they went back to patrolling. They patrol, they go to idle. And when they see us, they start chasing us. All right, right now you can see the camera is glitching around. I think what it's trying to do is if an obstacle comes in front of it, it's just trying to move in front of the obstacle so you can always see the player. In a top-down shooter, we don't need that. So just a quick fix for that is in our camera, we want to in our spring arm, we want to make sure this do collision test is turned off. So with do collision test turned on, for example, if I move here, you can see it goes in front of the obstacle. But if I turn this off, it just won't do that anymore. Which for this kind of game works. Ideally, if you guys are making like a full-blown game, when I move behind an obstacle, you want to like show the outline of the player or something. The player shouldn't lose where they are. But for this game, I think it's fine, and it's way less annoying than having the camera constantly like trying to move around based on the obstacles. All right, so we have everything almost working. We almost have what I would consider a full character controller with some interaction with an enemy. The last bit is just actually getting this enemy to die when we shoot him, and our player to die when the enemy hits them. And we will see that in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.